Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. So today, guys, we're going to talk about something that everyone right now is talking about, and I honestly don't really. It kind of blows my mind how many people are selling fear and how many YouTube channels and how much you see just turning on the news and turning on television and it's scaring you or whatever. And we're going to talk about inflation. We're going to talk about what I think you should do in these inflationary times. For the record, people, I personally have always had abundance mindset, and I've always been a glass half full type of guy. Whether I was dating, whether I was in my career, whether I was looking at employment opportunities, I always kind of had an idea that I can have it all. I always had an idea pretty much that if you do what you're supposed to do, good things are going to happen to you, period. And I don't operate from a series of fear. I personally have been in active shooter situations. I've been harassed by the police. I've seen people get shot directly in front of me. For what it's worth, when I graduated from college in 2008, that went 2007, 2008, that was during the height of the worst economic depression that we had since the Great Depression. I've gotten in rings and cages and fought people, and I've also been actively recruited to join gangs. When you go through things like that, you can't really get too scared of inflation. And I'm saying that to say this, people, don't let these people scare you. Everyone who is listening to this video right now, you have been through much worse than quote unquote inflation. So don't let inflation scare you, okay? Even if you haven't gotten to some of the things that I personally have seen or been a part of, or basically, unfortunately had to live through, don't let these crazy times scare you, people, okay? Don't let these talking heads terrify you. So with that, people, we're gonna talk about 7 things I think you should do in this quote unquote upcoming recession, supposedly, if it's coming, or in these inflationary times or whatever. So the first thing you should do, people, the first thing you should do is you need to have a fully stocked emergency fund. And some of the things I'm gonna tell you to do for this particular video, I'm gonna keep it completely honest. You should be doing this regardless, whether you're in inflationary times or whether you're in bad times. So the first thing you should do, people, is you should have a fully stocked emergency fund. Now, a fully stocked emergency fund, in my opinion, is one where if you got fired today, you could go 6 months and literally chill on the beach and never have to worry about working. That to me is a fully stocked emergency fund. So you need to basically say, okay, what are my expenses and how much money do I need to live for 6 months? For 6 months, basically, and I don't have to work. That to me is a fully stocked emergency fund. I actually have a separate video about this. And in this fully stocked emergency fund, I have basically 2 kind of checking accounts, if you want to call it that. One of them is my Wells Fargo account, where my APY is only 0.01, which is literally, my yield is literally 0.001, which is nothing or whatever. And I have another account, my high interest account or whatever, with Marcus Goldman Sachs, where my APY is 1.2. So I keep money in my Wells Fargo account or whatever, just so I can write my checks, do things like that. But my real emergency fund is in my Marcus Goldman Sachs. So anyone that's listening to this video, just simply go online and Google high interest accounts or whatever, find one that works for you, and pretty much start putting your money into that one. Okay. But you need to have 6 months of living expenses inside of your emergency fund. And for me and my wife and me and my family or whatever, ours is whatever is in our Marcus Goldman Sachs. Next, people, entrepreneurship is king. So you need to start a side hustle. And this is also, once again, one of these things you should be doing regardless whether you're in inflation is here or not here or whatever. Capitalism, people, rewards business owners. So especially my 9-to-5ers who are listening to this, you need to start a business. And my advice is simple. I have a video basically said, I have a video, whatever, you can free, the link is below or whatever. And it basically talks about business that you can start for less than $100 or whatever. So whatever your hobby is, figure out a way to monetize it, whatever you're talented at. If you're good at art, whatever it is, figure out a way to monetize a skill set so that you can make money and start a business off of it. My advice is go to www.legalzoom.com and start a business. And you should be doing this. Why? Because in America, America's version of capitalism ultimately rewards business owners. If you're an employee, you get taxed first, then you get to spend your money. If you're a business owner, you get to spend your money first, then you get taxed. So basically, people, everyone should be starting a business, especially my 9-to-5ers. And also, one last tidbit about that: if you are a 9-to-5er and you start a business and you're doing it pretty much on the side, it's your 9-to-5. So after you get off work, after you get off your 9-to-5, you have your 5-to-9 business, you're going to be shocked at how much better of an employee being a business owner on the side is going to make you. Okay, so start a business. Next, people, invest in yourself. As a college educated person, I have a master's degree. I've got my undergraduate degree in engineering and everything. I've worked for nearly 20 years in the engineering industry. I'm flat out amazed at how many people will spend $100,000 to get a psychology degree, but they won't spend $20 to basically buy a book that teaches them psychology. Or they'll spend $100,000 to get a degree or whatever in about how to talk to people, but they won't spend $10 to basically read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. So basically, people read self-help books, join Toastmasters, whatever, to get your speaking skills up. Join the Rotary Club so you can basically get your business networks up. Invest in yourself, people. At the end of the day, you're never going to go wrong basically investing in self-help books. You're never going to go wrong basically joining different types of social groups and social networking circles so that you can improve your skill set, so you can improve your people skills. And you're never going to go wrong basically getting a new certification. So in these quote unquote inflationary times that we live in, you need to basically invest in yourself. Additionally, if you're more of an online person, or you're more of an app type of person or whatever, go to www.udemy.com. That's udemy.com. And there are literally thousands of courses on that you can take, from getting a project manager certification, getting a lead certifications, to just different types of psychology degrees or whatever that you can do. There are literally thousands of types of certifications on www.udemy.com. And during these quote unquote inflationary times that we're living in or whatever, if you have not learning a new skill set and you're not investing in yourself, you are truly messing up and you're blowing it. Next, please like, comment, and subscribe, by the way. Everybody helps the algorithm, and I love giving you guys free content. I want to continue to do that. Next, and this is probably the one I should have started with first. If we quote unquote are supposedly entering inflationary times, or we supposedly entering a bad economy or whatever, you should be having a budget. And to keep it a buck, keep it completely honest, you should have a budget regardless of whether you basically are entering bad times or not. So you need to have a budget. Yeah, I know it seems old school. Yeah, I know it seems like something that your grandmother told you to do. But everyone under the sound of my voice should be budgeting. Why? Because you need to know exactly how much money is coming into your account, and you need to know how much money is coming out of your account. That way you can say, okay, I'm spending $100 too much right here. I'm gonna cut that in half. I'm gonna take that $100 and I'm gonna invest it in this account. Or I'm not spending enough money pretty much on this area of my life. I need to spend more. Okay, so where can I basically move things around? For what it's worth, I actually have created a free budget sheet, and you can pretty much find that link below with Financipation. And everyone pretty much should be listening to, should create a budget. I'm sorry, and you should be following it. In regards to that, next, remember the 3 pillars and invest in as many of them. And this kind of goes back to that budget, because it's very easy to invest your money when you start realizing where your money is going and how much you're spending too much money on. So if you're familiar with this channel, I talk about essentially 3 pillars that the poor and the middle class have to build generational wealth. And the reason why I say these 3 pillars is it does not matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter how poor you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. Generally speaking, every poor person, every middle class person, every wealthy person in America can use these 3 pillars to basically build generational wealth. The first one is this: if you work in corporate America and your employer basically has a 401k, you should be investing up to the 401k match. If your employer basically matches the first $5,000 you put into a 401k, that means you need to invest $5,000 in your 401k. Why? Because at the end of the year, right around Christmas, that $5,000 you put in is going to be $10,000 that's going to come out, because you just won $5,000 for free. And one of you that basically would not take that deal. If I was going to give you $5,000, you would turn it down and not take it. Secondly, the Roth IRA. If you're not familiar with the Roth IRA, it's a pre-tax account that you put your money into, and it grows. It's an account that you put your money into, and it grows essentially tax-free. If you're not familiar with the Roth IRA is essentially an account that grows tax-free. So you put your money into it and it grows tax-free over the decades. And based off of the current laws with the Roth IRA, if you're allowed to put $6,000 every year into your Roth IRA if you're under 50 years old. So as a result, that's the second pillar of success. That's the second pillar of financial wealth. I'm sorry. All of you guys should be investing into $6,000 into your Roth IRA. The third pillar of success, the HSA account. The HSA basically, it allows you to put $7,100 into this account or whatever, that grows pre-tax and it's tax-free. And if you put this $700 in, if you're married or whatever, it just essentially stacks itself. It's essentially like the 401k, but slightly better. And it's essentially like the Roth IRA, but slightly better. And if you're not married, the time I'm recording this, $3,500 is what you can put into it. So those are the 3 pillars of success. Those are the three pillars, I'm sorry, of financial wealth. The 401k, the Roth IRA, and the HSA. You should be maxing them all out. You should be maxing them out, or putting as much as you possibly can into it. And lastly, if the economy really truly is kicking your butt and you don't have the money to do all 3, you should be doing at least one of the 3 pillars. I always say try to do 2, but do at least one of the 3 pillars if you can. And lastly, do not ever cash out your 401k, period. And don't prematurely pull out your Roth IRAs or your 401ks either. And the reason why I say that is because if you do that, Uncle Sam is going to tax you, And on top of that, the state that you live in is probably going to tax you. So if you have $100,000 into your 401k and you prematurely pull it out, by the time you pull it out, you're probably only going to have about $65,000 or $60,000, depending on the state that you live in. So basically, people, when you invest into the 3 pillars, don't touch it until you absolutely have to. And you absolutely have to when it's time to retire. The next pillar, real estate. Real estate is one of those kind of things where it's a two-edged sword in that if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose literally hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. But if you know exactly what you're doing, you can make millions of dollars overnight. I actually have a separate video about real estate. I'm not going to go too much into it for this particular podcast because you can literally talk for hours about it. But what I will say about real estate is this: if you have the money and you know what you're doing and you have the right team around you and you know how to be an investor, you know how to basically do the correct methods with real estate, you can make a lot of money. And the sad thing about what's kind of coming up, if inflationary times are truly coming here, a lot of people are about to lose their homes. The quote unquote good thing, if you want to call it that, is that if you know what you're looking for, it's going to, there are going to be a lot of deals and a lot of pieces of real estate that you can purchase right now. So that's the next thing I'll say. If you really know what you're doing, you have the right team behind you, you've done the proper round of research, real estate. And I actually have a separate video that's going to be coming out about that. Next. I talked about this a little bit earlier, people. Ignore the haters and don't let the fear mongers get you. As a YouTuber, it blows my mind how many people I've seen posting videos talking about the sky is falling and all these horrible things are about to happen. You should be terrified. You should be scared. At the end of the day, people, I just don't live in I'm sorry, maybe it's because of some of the things that I saw growing up or just some of the environments or whatever that I have lived in. I just don't live in a spirit of fear. I just don't. And honestly, anyone that's listening to this video right now, you have lived through much worse than quote unquote inflation. So don't let people scare you. Continue to invest. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. When everyone is telling that you should sell what you have, that's when you should buy. When everyone is telling you should buy, that's when you should sell. Don't let people terrify you and scare you. Don't panic. If you need to basically invest money into your account and then not look at it, just continue to do that. But don't let these fear mongers on CNN, don't let these fear mongers on Fox News, don't let these fear mongers on MSNBC, don't let these fear mongers on social media, on WhatsApp, on IG, don't let them scare you, people. Basically, slow and steady wins the race. Continue to do what you've been doing from an investment standpoint during these quote unquote inflationary times that we live in. So with that, in closing, everybody, once again, this channel, Financial Patience, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. I wanted to make this video because I see a lot of people selling fear and kind of scaring people about quote unquote what's going on. As I said earlier, people, all of us have lived through much more dangerous and worse times than what's kind of going on or whatever, from being recruited to join gangs, from seeing people get shot, from being in active shooter situations. I've seen much worse than quote unquote inflation. I'm pretty sure you have too, from getting in rings myself and fighting people in cages and in rings all around the world. I'm pretty sure that was a lot scarier than quote unquote what's coming for us right now. At the end of the day, people, similar to your lifestyle, you've seen much worse than this as well. So don't let them scare you. During these quote unquote inflationary times that we live in, have a fully stocked emergency fund. That's 6 months of living expenses. Start a business, invest in yourself, read books, listen to podcasts, listen to YouTube, listen to podcasts like this one or whatever. Budget and cut your frivolous spending. Figure out where you're spending too much stupid money, whether it's on girls, whether it's on alcohol, whether it's on parties, whether it's on stupid stuff. Cut that spending and then invest it, and then basically put that money instead into a good investment. Put it into a good growth stock mutual fund. Put it into a good Roth IRA. Put it into a good 401k account. Put it into your HSA. Invest in money. If you know what you're doing or whatever, invest in real estate. Remember the 3 pillars that I talked about just now. Invest in that. And then lastly, people, ignore the haters. And remember, slow and steady wins the race. Continue to invest into that 401k. Continue to invest in that Roth IRA. Continue to invest in that HSA. And while you're at it, maybe you should even check out my video about the good total stock market index funds I tell you to invest in as well. So that, everybody, it's your boy Chris. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. It's Financial Patience, everybody. Take it easy. Peace.